This program contains true stories of rescues. All of the 911 calls you will hear are real. Whenever possible, the actual people involved have helped us reconstruct the events as they happened.
If those around us aren't prepared to respond when tragedy strikes, life can quickly slip away. I'm William Shatner. Tonight, true stories of courageous people battling against the odds on Rescue 911. We begin on the morning of January 5th, 1991, near Columbus, Ohio, as truck driver Franklin Bicknell had just finished delivering a load of steel beams.
I was trying to get home as quick as possible, but as safe as possible, too. And I was just running along about, I'd say around 35 mile an hour, at 40 at the most, because I had noticed ice forming on the road.
Tony Frazier was out running some errands in her husband Charlie's pickup truck, which she rarely drove.
I warned my wife when she left, to keep eye on the roads because it was raining. You can never depend on the weather.
Tony was 8 months pregnant with their second child.
I see there's cars passing me in the passing lane, and I thought if those people could see what I was seeing on the highway, they probably wouldn't be passing like that.
Let's get a squad out here as quick as we can. This witness, a pickup truck flew over the guard railing.
I just got on my CB and I started hollering on her, saying, please, somebody get some help. We need an ambulance.
When we continue,
we rolled her over on her back, and immediately I think to myself, this lady is 8 or 9 months pregnant. And I thought it's not going to be one death, but it's going to be 2 deaths.
When the pickup truck Tony Frazier was driving crashed through a guardrail, it rolled down a steep embankment, landing upside down in an icy river. Chaplain Mabin Sanner was on his way home when he witnessed the accident.
My first impression was that no one could live through that wreck. And I wish I wasn't here. And I wish that I was somewhere else and not being faced with the circumstances that I was under at the present time. But anyway, I faced the realization that I had to run down that hill. And the hill is very steep. It was icy, it had been raining, it was frozen. There was a coat floating on top of the water over in the driver's seat. And I just had a sense of just total futility. Why bother? Because they can't be alive.
I was petrified, and at that time I was thinking that really and truly a ride like that person had went through, that they could not survive that. But I knew that regardless of the outcome, we had to get the person out.
Someone's stuck in it. Come on down, help me. Door open.
At that point, I could reach the coat, and so I stuck my arm through the door, and I caught a hold of the coat, and I could tell that there was a body inside the coat. To be honest with you, probably the most difficult thing of the whole thing was that act of sticking my arm through a door that I thought was a dead body.
Turn her over.
I just took for granted that she was dead. We rolled her over on her back, and immediately I think to myself, this lady is 8 or 9 months pregnant. And I thought, well, it's not going to be one death, but it's going to be 2 deaths.
Okay. Get some help. We need some blankets down here.
I was thinking, oh, God, it's such a shame that a young person like this would lose her life. All at once, she'd cough. And that's when I realized that she was still alive.
And she said, if one of you men have a Kleenex, would you please wipe my nose? And this, just like this, as she came to, and there was superficial water around the top of her, around her nose. And of course, at that point, we really began to rejoice and shout and, hallelujah.
We realized that we couldn't move her too far because we didn't know the extent of the injuries. And I told her, I said, everything's going to be all right. Down deep, I didn't think it was going to be. I didn't think she would make it. I honestly didn't.
Within 13 minutes, Madison Township and Columbus Fire Department rescue units began arriving on the scene. Among those who responded was paramedic Steve Roth.
She was obviously scared, and when she told me that she didn't have any feeling, you could see in her eyes that she knew something was wrong. And I realized right away, especially the method of injury, that she had a spinal problem.
Paramedic Bob McDonald also helped treat the victim.
Vitals were pretty unstable at that point, so we wanted to get her mobilized and get her up in the medic as fast as we could, and to get her blood pressure up because she was 9 months pregnant and we were worried about the baby not getting an adequate blood supply.
I wouldn't have given her a lot of chance for a recovery, considering what she'd been through.
No feeling from the neck down. She's got a blood pressure about 130/60.
Tony was rushed to Mount Carmel East Hospital, where she was treated by neurosurgeon Warren Leimbach.
There's very little break in the bone itself. It would just literally pull apart, as if somebody had taken her neck and just snapped it in half.
Can you feel me touching you here?
X-rays revealed that she had suffered 2 broken vertebrae, and her spinal cord was severely bruised.
Over here?
I had told her that the chances of her walking again or moving her arms and legs were very, very small. Almost nil.
Tony, we're just going to take a picture.
Tony's obstetrician, Dr. John Russ, was brought in to consult.
And we decided at that point that she should deliver her baby as soon as we could get it out, because this was certainly the best way to keep the mom and the baby from further compromise.
I'm Dr. Leimbach. I'm a neurosurgeon.
Tony's husband, Charlie, rushed to the hospital as soon as he heard what had happened.
She has broken her neck and has...
I remember in the hallway after he told me that she was paralyzed from the neck down, it was like it wasn't true. Everything was in slow motion. Everything was like a daze. And we went in. I was standing beside Tony. I remember looking at her because she looked so scared. And grabbed her hand, put a hand on her shoulder, and I told her I loved her and I was going to never leave her.
Tony was taken into emergency surgery.
The baby was delivered fairly quickly then by cesarean section. We got an excellent baby out. And what was amazing to us is that fairly quickly after the cesarean section, she began to show some signs that she had some feeling, and we didn't expect it at all. We were stunned and excited that we had any sort of sensation.
And by the time we finished and ready to take her off the table for her C-section, she was able to wiggle her big toe a little bit on both sides. That was a miracle to begin with. I would never have believed it. But, and I went out and told her family, hey, we've got a chance here.
Oh. She'll be here in just a second.
When Tony was first shown her baby, Lindsay, she couldn't even turn her head to look at her daughter.
At that point, I prayed all the time, God, if nothing else, just give me my arms so I can hold my kids. That's all I ask for. I don't care if I never get my legs back. Just give me my arms so I can hold and cradle my babies.
3 days later, Tony underwent another operation in which doctors replaced the broken vertebrae with a bone graft from her hip.
The day after surgery, she began losing function again. But I told her, it still could come back. And so she did not get too depressed at that point. I was much worse off than she was.
Well, there you are.
Truck driver Franklin Bicknell came to visit Tony while she was recovering from surgery in the hospital.
She said, you guys made it possible for me and my baby to live. And she says, I'm going to walk out of this hospital for you.
I told him, I said, the doctor's opinion is I'll never walk again. I'll never do this. I'll never do that. My opinion is I'm going to do everything they told me I couldn't do.
On June 16th, 1991, after 5 months of grueling physical therapy, Tony Frazier kept her promise and walked out of the hospital.
Throughout my therapy, I have had steady progression, constant gain, constant improvement. But every once in a while, it seems like I plateau. But I never gave up hope. Charlie pushed me every single day, and he used to come in and tell me, just close your eyes and just push yourself to move something. Push yourself to move something.
And every day was a different muscle coming back. And she wanted to hold the baby so much, I think it just gave her the power to heal herself. I mean, she just, each day it's something else.
Tony's a fighter. She's definitely a fighter. And it's taken a lot of courage on her part to come as far as she's come. She's just like one of my daughters to me. I'll always be there if she needs me. If for anything, I'll be right there.
Now, I can honestly say that before this accident happened, I took a lot of things for granted. I've been given a chance, and I hope that I can be inspiration for that 1 out of that 10 that the doctors say I'll never move.
Well, I'm very proud of her. Every time I see her, it tells me there's hope.
Coming face to face with danger reminds us just how precious life can be. For Carl Galla, that moment came on the morning of February 28, 1991, at her home in Glen Ellen, Illinois, as she and her 2 young daughters were getting ready to run some errands.
On Thursday morning, we're always in a big rush, and I kind of wanted just to clean up a little bit before I left.
I don't want to argue with you, Janine.
I just was buying what was the second to the last load of clothes.
So, get on, get out to the car.
When I opened the door and smelled fire, I looked in the garage and there was nothing there. So I thought, well, this is really weird. And then when I turned around is when I saw the fire.
Oh my God. And just stay right there, Andrea.
I thought, I can handle this. Maybe I would have been able to handle it if I had a fire extinguisher.
Andrea, get outside!
So I ran to get a bucket. I just panicked. Because you don't realize how fast these things go.
Carol called 911 to report the fire.
I tried to help her. She said, don't, just stay away. It was hopeless.
No, my children are all outside. Okay, be out in front. Please hurry. Andrea, come on, let's go. Come on. Stephanie? Stephanie? Stephanie!
When the door slammed, I thought you went in the house. Then I thought, if she isn't here, she is in big trouble.
Stephanie, where are you? Stephanie, come here right now!
The garage door closed all by itself. And I'm like, uh-oh.
Members of the Glen Ellen Volunteer Fire Department responded, including Chief Stuart Stone.
When people dial 911, the tones go off, everybody has a pager, so that everybody knows where it is and what is happening. We're all volunteers, we all live within the community, and during the day, we're out at the station in approximately a minute.
Glen Ellen Police Officer Joe Backey happened to be on patrol in the area.
I was only about 3 blocks away, so I responded to the scene to block traffic, which is what we do at fire scenes.
Outside's 23. What?
She didn't know whether or not her daughter was in the garage or in the house itself.
I don't know!
I remember thinking that this little girl might die.
He ran in the house several times, and he couldn't breathe, and he said it was tremendous heat. In the meantime, I'm outside, hysterical.
Expedite, right away.
Neighbor Cliff Halpin saw the smoke as he was driving by.
The first thing that hit me was to get some cloth and dip it in the snow so that I could breathe through it when it was wet. I gagged and I started coughing, and I had to turn back because I got such a deep breath full of the smoke.
Where is she? I don't know.
When I finally knew she was in there, she called me, that little, hardly a voice, you know. I couldn't go and get her. I feel like I should have been able to do that.
You take upstairs. I'll take that.
Here. As Joe went into the garage, and I knew that I might have to go in after him. That was real scary for me.
Where's the door opener? Carol! Carol!
The wires must be burned because it's not working. And it was a matter of timing. Either he was going to come out in 15 or 20 seconds, or I was going to have to go in.
Call your daughter.
Stephanie! Answer me, Stephanie! Stephanie, answer me!
I thought the very worst thing had happened, and I just lost it. I mean, I just felt like someone was sucking the life out of me. It was just like a big, empty, black feeling.
She's in the garage. Get underneath. Stephanie? Stephanie, come here. Jay! Let's go here. Got her, Joe. Go. I got her.
All I remember is they moved her to the front of the house on a flat surface. And then I remember Cliff telling me she's breathing, she's alive.
Her eyes were closed. She was completely limp. And I had never seen anybody like that before that had all this spittle around their mouth. And I knew it had come from her lungs. So she was very, very gone.
Paramedic Mary Alice Van Hefty and her partner also responded to the fire.
She was lethargic when we first saw her. She wasn't a typical little kid. She wasn't even crying. She just looked at you because she was so frightened. And then she started to cry a little, and then she was wiggling all about like a little person was supposed to.
Officer Bakke was also treated at the scene.
This sounds really corny, but I think God sent him to me. He just jumped right in there, and he didn't think twice.
It never crossed my mind that I was really in danger. My concern was for their little girl.
We were just so lucky that he showed up, because if he didn't show up, I know that she would have died. I know she would have died.
4-year-old Stephanie Gallo was taken to the hospital. After 5 days, she was released with no permanent damage.
She's a great kid. Very happy, happy-go-lucky. My life would just not be the same without her.
It was later determined that the fire was caused by clothes under the dryer that had come in contact with a pilot light and ignited.
I should have had a fire extinguisher. And if you don't have one, then you shouldn't probably try to even put it out. You should try to just take your kids and get out. And I should have done that.
Stephanie's father, Steve, is also grateful to Officer Bakke.
The physician at the emergency ward in the hospital said that Stephanie had 90 seconds left. But she made a full recovery, and we have Joe Bakke to thank for that. The man is definitely a hero.
I think Joe is really nice for saving my sister. He beats up my brothers for me.
He's just extra special. I mean, he took it personally. I mean, it was like he was not going to let her die in there.
I was just lucky enough to be in the right place at the right time to help her out. And I just did what needed to be done.
On August 22nd, 1992, Phoenix, Arizona had been drenched by a series of summer thunderstorms, creating the dangerous flood conditions that often plague the city. Most of the footage in this story was taped as the actual events unfolded.
The desert residents are not used to our washes being full. They are used to the road running right through the wash and not having any problems crossing the wash.
What is your emergency?
At 11:18 that night, a call came in to the Phoenix Police Department.
Here, and someone has been washed off the road. Someone's stuck in it? Yes, they're definitely stuck. And this water's flowing very heavily. They need help immediately. Okay, all right. The lights are completely out. Their lights are out? The lights are under? Yes, completely, 100%. Okay. No, don't go out there. Well, they need help immediately. Okay, I understand. Ma'am, I'm going to get police and paramedics out there, okay? Okay, thank you very much.
When we continued.
When we got there, the water was over the top of the car. So my first inclination was that we don't have a rescue here. We have a body recovery.
She's in deep trouble. Be advised. The water is almost going over the top of it. We don't know if she's still. We could hear her screaming approximately 30 seconds ago.
When we got there, the water was over the top of the car. So my first inclination was that we don't have a rescue here. We have a body recovery.
We're getting no response from her now. We've been screaming for her. We cannot get any kind of response. See if we can get another unit at 35th Avenue to help us with some spotlights out here.
A police helicopter, piloted by Officer Mike Hine, happened to be on routine patrol in the area.
Got a water rescue. He says it's almost fully submerged into the water. Okay.
When we arrived overhead and found the vehicle, a police officer came on the radio and told us that there had been a female occupant attempting to climb out of the vehicle and into the water. And my immediate thought was that if she tried that, she would die.
Phoenix Fire and Police units, including members of the Swift Water Rescue Team, tried to come up with a plan to get the woman out safely.
Driver of the vehicle, you can hear us. Fire department is here. We'll be with you soon.
This was the first swiftwater rescue mission for co-pilot Sally Scott.
I have no clue. She can't hear me.
You, of course, have the concerns for how much air does she have, how much water is in the car.
There's no way we can get a line across. I mean, this thing must be a quarter-mile across.
Time was growing short. A second helicopter, piloted by Officer Larry Hallis, with co-pilot Carl Hagler, was brought in to attempt a rescue.
Set up for a landing zone.
Their plan was to lower Ron Cummings, a member of the swiftwater rescue team, from the helicopter to the victim's car.
He was going to ride the skid out. We were going to drop him off. My personal feelings were that he would not be able to stay on top of the car. But we really didn't have time to come up with a better plan.
The helicopter goes down, there is going to be catastrophic failure. It's going to take out the pilot, the co-pilot, the rescuer, the victim, and who else is around. So every rescue has to have a backup rescue.
They made sure that they had safety lines across the river downstream.
The first helicopter stayed to illuminate the scene.
Larry's coming up on final. I'm going to go ahead and move to the west a few hundred yards.
At one point, the car moved. The car shifted and went about a foot to a foot and a half downstream and then caught again.
A little bit forward. A little bit forward. A little bit forward. Okay, come on, about 3 feet. Oh, 3 feet. 3, 2, 2.
Once he was stabilized on the car, he broke the window out.
Ron had left a portion of the safety and flotation devices inside the helicopter because apparently he wanted to have his hands free to be able to grab onto something when he first got onto the car. So it necessitated Carl and I going back out to the vehicle with the flotation. Told me that we were going 25 or 30 miles an hour forward because I was getting the peripheral vision off the water. And we did eventually have to take 2 or 3 stabs at it.
I put the extra flotation device and helmet on the victim. I told her we're going to get out of the car. So with that, she started loading her purse with extra items. And I explained to her that we couldn't take her purse.
Consideration was the weight that was involved and the amount of power that we were going to need to get the fireman and the victim out of the car.
Okay, 5 feet, 5 feet, 4 feet. Come forward about 2 feet. Come forward about 2 feet.
With any sort of a helicopter over water, snow, there's a chance that it can build a static charge. So every time the helicopter would approach, I would touch the helicopter, I would take the charge, the pilot would have trouble holding it there and would pull away, and we'd have to repeat this process about 5 times.
He got zapped 2 or 3 times, but my main concern was that I did not in any way want to be responsible for knocking either Ron and or the victim off the roof of that car.
Down a little bit. Foot to the right. Just stay to the right. Okay, that's good.
It was an absolutely fantastic moment, and you realize that because everybody had a part and everybody did their job, it worked out well, and you saved a life. And that's a feeling that you don't forget.
Nan Tran had been trapped in her car for more than an hour in the swirling waters.
I was so scared, and I knew that no way I can be survived in that situation. I knew that, die in the car or die outside, would be the same, because I don't know how to swim.
Apparently, Nan had driven around a barricade set up to prevent cars from crossing the flooded road. The next day, she went back to look for her car.
When I get there, I didn't see my car, and people said that car was about a half mile away from the street, flipped over, it's upside down. And after I come back and I saw that, I said, no way I can be survived, no way.
Recently, Nan, accompanied by her 10-year-old daughter Lynn, went to thank the people who saved her life that night.
Hi, how are you? We pushed a lot of edges. We pushed the limits of the helicopter. We pushed the limits of the pilot. We pushed the limits of the firefighters. Everybody was right to the max, and we were extremely lucky that everything went well.
If nothing else, if you could see that we were there and that something was being done.
If it wasn't for the rescuers, I would be so sad right now.
Try not to do that anymore.
Through my experience, I think that we should be very careful when we drive and do not pass the barricade, so that we do not risk our life and we do not risk the life of the rescuer to save us.
We had a little something for you. All of us got together and we wanted to give you this. That's from all of us.
I would like to say thanks to all of the rescue team and all of the people who was worried for me, care for me, and pray for me.
New purse. Well, we're glad you're here and that everything worked out well.
So glad you're safe. It was a team effort, and if one part would have failed, I don't think she would have lived.
I told Ron that I could not say thanks to him because thanks is not enough. From my heart, he's the one I remember forever in my life, and maybe next life and next life and next life.
The everyday routine of our lives can provide comfort and pleasure, but it can also lead us to overlook certain dangers. That was never more true than on October 18th, 1991, as Susan Tanner was taking care of her baby and her 4-year-old daughter, Brittany, at their home in the suburbs of Fresno, California.
It was lunchtime. There you go, Brittany. There you go, Brooke. I'm gonna go call Daddy, okay? As they started to eat, I walked over to the telephone to dial Stan.
Hello? My wife and I, we talk on the phone at least once a day. We usually call each other.
The girls are just eating
She
lunch.
was pregnant, probably about 8 months, 7 or 8 months at least.
Structure, and that it should get us through this season and maybe next. Yes, that wasn't that big of a deal. No, I might go to the park later, but I don't have anything else planned for the day. No, actually, he said that our unit was fine. He said there's a small hairline fracture. Yes, that wasn't that big of a deal.
Well, that's good. Susan? When I heard those screams, it just kind of made me curdle inside, like something was definitely wrong.
Are you okay?
She came back to the phone and said, I gotta call 911, bye.
What?
And just left me hanging.
Are you there?
Are you there? Ambulance dispatch. There's stuff sticking out of her body. Some body parts are sticking out. She's got terrible cuts from falling through the window. There's body parts sticking out? Where at? In her stomach? In her back. In her back? Like her liver. I don't know what it is. Okay.
Claudia Fernandez had been a Fresno County dispatcher for 3.5 years.
I was like, oh my God. I never had anybody describe that to me over the phone. I couldn't believe it.
Okay, listen to me. What I want you to do. Listen, is she breathing right now? Yeah, breathing. Yeah, she's crying. Okay, she's crying? Oh, well, no, she's just kind of fidgeting. Okay. Wait, Britt. She's bleeding very bad. Okay, listen.
The tremendous amount of blood that was coming out was so enormous that I didn't think she would ever live through something like that.
An ambulance that happened to be less than a mile from the house was immediately dispatched to the scene.
Get a towel or cloth, okay, and apply direct pressure, all right? Okay. Hold on. Wait. Ma'am? Yes? Okay, the ambulance is on the way, okay? Okay. Is she still crying? Oh, she looks like she's getting white. Okay.
The mother stated the girl was getting very pale, and that told me that she was losing a lot of blood and possibly going to go into shock any minute.
She's really bad. I mean, it's gushing. It's coming out everywhere. Okay, where's this big hole in her back? Hole in her back? Very scared. Okay, I know you are. Okay, did you get a towel or a cloth? Yeah, there's a towel on her. Okay, I want you to apply direct pressure. Okay, I want you to hold it with one hand and apply direct pressure. You gotta be calm for her right now, okay? How's her color looking now? She's still real pale? Very. Mama, help you, sweetheart. I love you so much. What'd she say? She said she loves me. Oh. The doctor's gonna come.
I just remember thinking that was kind of like a goodbye, or that was the last time that we would say that to each other.
Within minutes of the call, the first rescue unit arrived.
I hear some, are they there? Okay, great. Okay,
I was very worried about the little girl. I didn't know if she was going to make it or not.
Among those who responded was American ambulance paramedic Ray Renard.
Mom is covered in blood. This little girl was very sick. We mainly noted one injury to the back, the large gaping hole there, which showed intestines.
Evisceration? Do you remember lifting her up or anything?
There was approximately 2 to 3 cups of blood loss at the window site.
Wait, did she fall all the way through the window?
Kids can deteriorate very rapidly because they cannot handle that amount of blood loss.
Okay, I'm going to hold wet dressings on you. You're going to feel this is going to be wet.
I remember thinking that I was losing one child and having another one. And I didn't think that was very fair. I didn't want to have to trade one for another.
You're okay, Brittany.
We asked Mom to ride along with us because we felt with a high anxiety or becoming emotionally upset, Mom might end up going into active labor.
Just as the ambulance was leaving, Stan pulled up to the house.
When I drove up to the house and saw Susan in the ambulance, I didn't have a chance to talk to her. And it was just the look that we had between each other that we knew something serious had happened.
Four-year-old Brittany Tanner was taken to Valley Medical Center, where a trauma team was awaiting her arrival, led by Dr. Dean Gushy.
I initially had told her who I was to try and make her at ease and tell her what was going to happen. Her injury was very clearly life-threatening. What we needed to do was to do all of the things necessary to get her to the operating room as rapidly as possible.
Stan met up with his daughter at the hospital.
It's hard for a father to see their daughter in a situation like that, where they can't really do anything. You're relying on somebody else to make your girl feel better, when usually you're the one who picks them up and holds them when they have a hurt. And the thought of having a life without Brittany, I can't even imagine what it'd be like. Not to be able to see her, just come running up with her arms and throw her arms around you and, say, I love you, Daddy. I can't imagine what it'd be like without her.
Brittany underwent surgery to repair a lacerated colon. After 2 weeks, she was released from the hospital.
Today, Brittany is back to her old feisty self. She is in gymnastics and swims and runs and is very, very active. I don't think anybody understands the amount of sorrow and sadness you feel until you come that close to losing a child.
What scared me was falling. That's what scared me. I'm not going to put in that chair anymore.
As soon as the accident happened, we had safety glass put in all of our windows.
Go through your house, and any windows that are in your house, especially windows that are within 18 inches of the floor, make sure they're tempered so that this doesn't happen to you.
Recently, the Tanner family got a chance to meet the people who helped save their young daughter's life.
As paramedics, we never get to see the outcome of our patients. It always feels good when you make a difference.
I'm a very lucky girl. Thanks for helping me, everyone.